Hi Virgo, welcome to your weekly reading. This is for Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. Check out the other placements for additional messages, as this is a general reading. Messages may or may not apply. Just pick what resonates and leave what doesn't for the next person. I can be picking up on someone around you or someone you could be dealing with, so you might have to swap the roles. If this reading doesn't resonate right away, it may be something that happens down the line. If you'd like, you can keep this in your back pocket or come back at a later time. We're going to take a look and see what messages need to come through for you guys for the week ahead. Get some insight, wisdom, guidance, and overall see what's going on for my Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. If you guys are interested, you can check me out on my Instagram at JadeStoneTarot. And if you notice that the sound isn't as clear as it usually is, my microphone stopped working not very long ago. So for the time being, I'm using my phone to record the sound. But I'll be getting something new hopefully pretty soon. I just gotta do a little bit of research to see what's good. Anyways, we're gonna get right into this reading. Messages for Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus for the week ahead. Okay, wow, that's quick. We got the elk. We also got the frog. And the tarantula, the lion at the bottom. I am getting the energy as if, like, you guys are trying your best to stay strong. But you gotta know it's okay to not always be okay. I feel like you guys are kind of wearing this brave face and trying to just suck things up and just move on with your life. But behind that mask, which is actually interesting because Leo's reading, and Leo and Virgo always seem to kind of correlate or have some similar themes. Some of you, I remember there's a few people who have commented before saying that they're like a Leo sun, Virgo moon, or Virgo ascendant, Leo moon, or whatever. Like, I know that there's some viewers that have those placements, those strong placements, or like Leo Venus and whatever. Anyways, I think for those that have Leo in your chart, you may want to listen to that reading I did. I uploaded it a few days ago, or like yesterday or something. Anyways, I feel like as if you guys have been going through some pretty emotional times. I think your last few readings have been a bit intense. You might just be going through some rocky moments, some ups, some downs. You might not be feeling like tip-top, your very best. And, you know, we all go through those moments. But I do feel as if some of you are just trying to, you know, focus a lot more on your work and your studies and your career and trying to stay busy. And wearing like the brave face, like I'm not bothered and I don't care and like I'm good and I'm solid, but like deep down feel like you guys are needing a release, an emotional release. I feel like there's a buildup of emotion that you guys may have been suppressing for a while, and it's like the longer you suppress it, I feel like the more overwhelming it'll get with time if you don't just release it. And I'm filming this on the full moon of Capricorn, full moon in Capricorn. The fuck, full moons are perfect timings to release and let go and cleanse and declutter, setting your intentions of the things you'd like to release. And I just feel like maybe there's been a build-up of energy for a while now, and it's like you guys have been controlling your emotions, but when you control your emotions, you can feel them and not let them override you. Otherwise, you guys are just completely flipping the switch and being emotionless. And then what good is that doing? It's almost like, it's interesting because the Tower did try to come out when I was prepping the tarot deck. And I was like, are you guys going through like a mental breakdown? Like you're going to color your hair like some crazy color or like fucking get bangs or some shit. I mean, if you want to do that, that's awesome. Go for it. But you know, so it's always like a joke like on social media. Like, oh, if the person dyed their hair red, check up on them. They're going through a breakdown right now. Like they're really going through it. Like, you know, it's just like, is that what you guys are going through? Like on the outside, you're like, what are you talking about? I'm calm, I'm cool, I'm collected, I'm in control. But like on the inside, you're like, I just need to cry. Like I'm really going through it right now. I need a shoulder to cry on. Like I feel like you guys might be kind of going through a little bit of struggles or like emotional things that Mercury retrograde is over and I still can't speak, going through some things, but it's like on the outside you look calm, cool, collected. On the inside you're like really going through it. It feels pretty heavy. You might have just been like keeping things in for a long time, and like I said, it just might reach this peak and you're gonna explode. And that's why I was like, Virgo, if you gotta release, if you gotta have a good cry, if you need to let it out or talk to someone, please do. Okay, you are very reliable. I feel like you guys could be taking on a lot of responsibility and trying to be there for everyone. Like the elk is the energy of someone who's very supportive, very loving, very loyal. But make sure you're getting that energy in return. Make sure that it is balanced. Your relationships, friendships, all the above. Make sure that what you put out, you are receiving that, right? because nothing's worse than when you constantly are extending and being there for everyone else, but when the tables are turned and you're going through it, or you're at rock bottom, and who's there? It's fucking crickets. Like, no one's there to be there for you, but yet you're always picking up the pieces for everybody else, putting out fires for everybody else. But when you have a fire, no one's there to extinguish it except you. It's just like, okay, damn, like, I see how it is, right? And some of you might be kind of going through that, or like, damn, like, you're looking around you and you're like, no one is here for me, or it's like, I feel like I'm going through this alone, you know? On the outside, you're like, oh, I don't care, I'm not bothered, I'm good, I don't need nobody. But on the inside, you're like, damn, I could really just use a shoulder to cry on. Like, I just need a release. I feel like I'm going through it, you know? It just, yeah, that's kind of like two different energies. That's kind of just how I'm seeing it. It's like, you guys are very grounded. You guys are very focused on, you know, again, your career, your studies, your work, and you're very loyal and people can depend on you. But at the same time, you deserve a break, and you deserve to, everyone's allowed to have their moments. Everyone's allowed to have breakdowns and, be an emotional wreck, right? You can't always have your shit together. And some of you feel like, well, I can't break, I can't cry, I have to have my shit together 24/7. I can't, like, I have things to do, I got bills to pay, like. But then as you're doing that, as you're suppressing your emotions, you're like, literally the elk has his back turned to the frog. Like, he's like, nope, I'm not going to go there. I'm not going to look at these feelings. I'm not going to acknowledge these emotions. I'm just going to shove it under the rug, pretend it's not there, la 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 la. Like, I'm just going to keep moving forward. But like, I feel like you're coming to a place right now with the tarantula coming up at the bottom of the deck, fire energy, where you're going to be at a crossroad. You have a choice. You either go left, you go right. And this choice is about the path that you're on. Definitely talks about your dharma, your purpose, the reason why you're here. Some of you may have a choice, like, regarding your relationships. Is this relationship truly benefiting you? Is it helping you grow? Or is it keeping you stunted? Is it holding you back? You know, and you can apply that to work. You can apply that to anything, your studies. It's like you do have a choice. The path that you're on, the direction you're heading down. But if you're not sure, if you're not in the right mindset or the right energy, just sit and wait and take as much time as you need before you decide where you're going, what you're going to do, who's coming, who's leaving. Like, you know, take your time when it comes to making this decision. Also, really trust your intuition. Deep down inside you, you already know what the best decision is or what the best move is for you. But take as long as you need. Sleep on it. Don't just impulsively react and, you know, make a long-term decision based off temporary emotions. That's another thing I'm getting from that. So yeah, we have earth and water and fire. Just definitely needing to ground yourself, get in control of your feelings and your emotions. Like, feel them. Allow yourself to feel them. Otherwise, eventually it's going to come up and it's going to bite you and it's going to be overwhelming and not fun. Okay. But yeah, again, with that tarantula, even the lion, like I said, you guys kind of having on this brave face, and you know, the lion never lets his wall down. He doesn't roll onto his back and expose his tummy and be vulnerable like that. It's like, you guys are just like, I'd refuse to be vulnerable unless I'm alone. You know, and that's all good. But again, like, just needing to have some sort of release. I think that would really benefit you. Okay, let's pull some tarot messages for Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus for the week ahead. I think if you do allow yourself to just express whatever it is that you're feeling, I think it could be very healing for you. Especially for those that have been feeling a little bit imbalanced or ungrounded or a little bit wobbly. I feel like that's all you need, is just to have a good release, a good cry, let it out, write it down, and then you'll be back on your bullshit. Like, you know? Alright, messages for Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus for this week. Any messages for Virgo, please, for the week ahead? Any messages for Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus for the upcoming week? The deck doesn't want to shuffle anymore, so let's get into it. Messages for Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus for the week ahead. We got the Prince of Cups coming out. Messages, that didn't come out for a reason, okay. Messages for Virgo, okay, this fell on top. Oh, this fell on top of the Ten of Swords, so we'll actually have it like that. Oh my god, these cards got a lot to say. Oh, 10 of Wands and the 5 of Wands. I'm going to get some more just to see really what's going on. I do feel like there's a lot of heaviness. It feels kind of intense, you guys. Messages for Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus for the week ahead. Okay, we also got the Sun reversed. 7 of Wands. This fell out together. I'd like outcome, or like where is Virgo expected to head? 3 of Swords. This fell on top. Okay, I'm just, we're not gonna do things how I normally do it right now. I feel like we need to get to the bottom of this. Queen of Wands reversed. Alright, is there anything else for Virgo for the week ahead? Anything else for Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus for the week ahead? No? Anything else? Are you sure? Okay, thank you. Prince of Pentacles. Okay. Oh, and the bottom of the deck, the Chariot. Oh, the Devil. Okay. We got a lot of different cards out here, but I feel like it's necessary. I feel like there's some things we must talk about, Virgo. So let's see. First of all, we have Cancer energy. We have Capricorn. We also have Leo coming out. Fire, air, we got all the elements out here. I don't need to talk about that. So, let me just try to get my thoughts straight, because we got a lot going on here. I feel like this is like kind of the near future or the end of this reading, so we'll keep that there. Yeah, no kidding. I was picking up on like this intense, like I'm going through it, but I'm pretending like I'm not. I'm just going to move forward. And I think you guys have a lot of baggage that you're carrying right now, a lot of emotional baggage, and I think it's internal. I don't think it's like, again, I think you guys are masking whatever it is that you're struggling with, whatever it is that you're going through. I do think it has to do with your emotions and your feelings, and there's a lot of heaviness in your heart. You guys may have gone through some sort of ending or heartbreak, or some sort of painful situation, and then even with that 10 of Swords in reverse. So this is telling me that whatever this situation, whatever this was, what I do get a lot of ending energy. 10 of Wands, 10 of Swords. 10s are known for endings. Okay, so there's some sort of ending you went through, possibly in a relationship, and I think right now you guys are you're trying to move forward. You really are. Right? You have that determination, and that's the thing with the lion underneath the tarantula. The lion, he's hella determined. He's focused. He gets his shit done. He's highly respected. He has, the whole kingdom to take care of, right? He's the king of the jungle. He can't just, give up one day or be in bed all day. Like, he has things to do. He's got to take care of shit. And, you have a lot of responsibilities. I think you have a lot to take care of, and it's like you can't even really... You don't even have the time during the day to sit down and just process whatever you've gone through. And even if you have some time, it's just like, it's never enough, or you always have something to take care of or to do. So it's like you have so much on your back, so much baggage and burdens, and it's just like you're trying so hard, so desperately to just move, but it's hard. It's a struggle, and days, even waking up, is just like really difficult to move on or move forward. You might need some help. You might need to get a helping hand. Wait, where did the card go? The elk. I was like, where did that go? You may need a helping hand. You may need a little extra support, even if it's like professional help. Like some of you may need to go talk to a therapist or someone who can give you some solid advice, right? I think right now you could really use some support. If you have a friend or family member or someone that you can trust, someone you can go to, that might really help you. But again, some of you are like, oh, but I don't want to lay the burdens on them, or I'm just going through it alone. Like, I don't want to lay any of this on people around me. I don't want them to worry. I don't want them to be concerned or stress them out. They have enough things going on in their life, and they don't need that added on to their plates, But it's just like, I feel like you guys are going through this alone. And there's just this back and forth, this struggle, well, how do I move forward? How can I get over this? How can I let this go? How can I find peace? Because right now, you guys aren't at peace. You guys are really struggling emotionally, mentally, even physically for some of you. It feels super hard. I think whoever this Prince of Cups is, because we have the Prince of Cups, the Queen of Wands reverse, and the 10 of Swords reverse. So there's two different energies. We have the Queen of Wands reverse, and then we have the Prince of Cups. So I feel like just intuitively, I feel like this Queen of Wands reversed is you, and this is whoever you're dealing with, and in between is this 10 of Swords reversed. So there's an ending between you and this prince. Some of you feel disrespected. Some of you, yeah, like, especially when the line came out, the line talks about respect, and some of you feel like you were disrespected, or like maybe your boundaries were crossed, or you said no and they didn't respect that, or they didn't, like, there was just, again, something that has you pretty fed up, very pissed off. There's a bit of this anger or resentment or hurt that you may still carry, and your feelings are 100% valid. Some of you feel like maybe you were played or manipulated, or someone just didn't take your emotions seriously. Like with this Prince of Cups, you know, there are obviously emotions that they had towards you, but something about the connection or something about this relationship, definitely unhealthy. The devil over here coming out. So bad yet feel so good kind of connection. Like when you guys were together, you'd either have the high highs or the low lows. There was like no in between. It was either good or it was bad. And you know, oh my god, what the fuck? Why is that song by Kesha, Your Love Is My Drug? Literally, you guys, what the fuck? I mean, for some, their love was your drug, and you're, like, addicted to it, and no matter, like, what happened, you'd always, like, take them back, or, I don't know, that's just really coming through to me. So, maybe, like, the lyrics in that song may resonate with your situation. For someone out there, that, I don't even know, I haven't listened to her in, like, years. Oh my god, throwback. I used to love her growing up. Like, damn. Been a minute. Hope she's doing well. I hope she's thriving. I wonder what sign Kesha is. Imagine if she's a Virgo. I'm just kidding. Oh my god. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm, like, kind of, like, in a giggly mood. Anyways, there is an ending between you and someone who maybe you were dating. Maybe it wasn't too serious, but still, you really liked them, and there's some sort of ending, and now it's just like, well, shit, that sucks. And it weighs heavy on you, and there is a lot of hurt that you carry, but it's like, again, there's like this internal battle, like, oh, but I should be over it by now, or I wasn't even with him for that long, why does it matter that much, why am I still hurt by this, why that, like, you're just so, like, definitely in your head. Okay, so we talked about that, we talked about this, we'll talk about that after. We have the Sun reversed, and the Seven of Wands. Let's say that, like, you and your person, or this person, whoever we're talking about, maybe you guys had a fallout or an argument, and maybe this person really struggled with taking accountability. There is, like, a lot of defensiveness. Like, whenever you would bring something to the table, or bring something to light, or talk about something that maybe bothered you, or upset you, or hurt your feelings, it's like, then they would just be super defensive, and then they would maybe flip out on you, or call you names, or just saying some really hurtful stuff. With the Sun reversed, I got the cards opposite. The Sun reversed, this definitely talks about, like, illumination and someone's true colors being shown. And so it's like, whenever you brought certain things up or had discussions about certain topics, certain things, or just you communicating how you were feeling, it's like, for some reason, it triggered them, and then they would always just be on the defense. They never would listen. They wouldn't hear you. And so it was super frustrating, right? Queen of Wands reversed. You're like, you're not listening. They're like, yeah, I am. I'm listening. But it's like, okay, you're listening, but do you hear me? Are you processing? You know, communication is key, but comprehension is also important. Otherwise, if you don't comprehend, then we ain't communicating, right? And so I do feel like, especially if this was recent, like even Mercury retrograde, like if this happened like a while back, or even a week ago, a month ago, you know, a little bit of that miscommunication energy. If it was during Mercury retrograde, yes, then let's blame it on the stars. I'm just kidding. But for some, there definitely was just like a lot of not hearing each other out, or someone wasn't listening to you or hearing you out, or taking your feelings into consideration. And it just seems super frustrating. Like, again, with that Five of Wands coming out, just like constant battles and argument and drama, and it was just so not peaceful. If anything, just, again, caused so much hurt, so much pain. Like, once you say something, you can't take it back. Even if you apologize for it, it still hurts. The burn is still there. And it may even leave a scar, right? And so it's just like, again, carrying a lot of burden, a lot of baggage. Like, oh my God. All right, let me move this. So, So the end of this reading, we have the Page of Pentacles, the Chariot, and the Devil. Okay, I'm just gonna be straight up with y'all. I am just, right off the bat, what I feel from this is almost like you take a break from you and this person, and they come back with an apology. I'm sorry, I didn't mean what I said. Can you please give me a second chance? I promise I'll make it up to you. And then we have the Chariot, and then we have the Devil. The Chariot to the Devil is just like, look at you riding back into some toxic shit. I hope not. But again, it's your life. You have your free will. But just how these cards look, it looks like, okay, here we... Oh, it's blurry. Oh my god. So sorry, you guys. Can this focus? Hello? Focus. There we go. It's like, hey, I'm sorry. Okay, cool. Appreciate the apology. And so it's like, okay, let's see where this goes. Let's move forward. Riding into the Devil. And the cycle continues. So, Virgo, I guess all I'm gonna say, action needs more than words. Alright? They may promise you the entire world, but will they give you the entire world? Or are they just gonna continue whatever they've been up to, keep on, like, I am kind of seeing the tendency of just like a cycle repeating itself. Okay, that's for some of you. How else could I see this? I guess all I'm going to say is just like, know your worth. Maybe that's the decision, right? The tarantula. You have a choice. Are you going to give this another chance and possibly see things repeat itself? It may not, but based off the cards don't lie. I'm just saying, it's going to be up to you. And this does talk about needing to use your discernment, use your intuition, look at the facts, don't let your emotions overrule you. Okay, that's all I'm going to say. But I think that could be why the tarantula came out. It's like, you're going to have a decision on what you're going to do with this. And just use your discernment when it comes to the situation. Okay, so another way, how could I see this? No, I just like... That's really the only way I'm seeing this. Otherwise, it's just whatever else I get from this just feels unrelated. Like, regarding your career, your finances, right? When we look at the Chariot and the Prince of Pentacles, it's like moving towards, financial stability, and that's great. It seems like it'll be slow movement, but it's great. Like, you're looking confident, you're moving forward at a good, steady pace. So that's awesome. Opportunity for you to learn, to grow, and just to be mindful of overworking. But again, unrelated to this entire reading. So that's just like side message. Like, that's really the only way I'm feeling this. Like, nothing else is coming to me right now, you guys. So let's just grab a fairy message, wrap this up, and get a couple of Tikashi messages for Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus for the week ahead regarding this reading for Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. Any fairy messages for my Virgos? One card, please, because these are pretty in-depth cards. Any messages for Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus for the week ahead? Fairy messages, please. Show me clearly. Any fairy messages for Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus for the week ahead regarding this reading? What fairy messages do my Virgos need regarding this reading? Any fairy messages for Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus for the week ahead? All right. Fairy messages for Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus for the week ahead. Any fairy messages? That was a messages. We have the Lady of the Harvest, number 18. Alright, let's see. This may be related, it may not. Just from the name, it's like... Oh, hold on, let me look at this. What the heck? I'm just like really look at this card, and not to laugh, but this figure face, I was just like, oh, I feel like, okay, so the name is the Lady of the Harvest. This is the new deck for me, you guys. It's like, just intuitively, all the faces behind, now they may just be smiling, but it looks like they're almost stealing her pumpkins. It looks like It almost looks like they're stealing her pumpkins or like her harvest. Like, I kind of feeling a little bit of greediness. Not from you, but just, like, again, from those a little bit. I don't know. I'm not too familiar with this card. But like I was saying earlier, it's like, you guys are hella dependable, reliable, there through the thick and thin. There's not very many people like that on this world. And that can easily be taken advantage of. And some of you feel like that's what happened. And she even looks just like, wow, like, I invested all this energy into this harvest for it to just be taken, abused, misused. I don't know, man. That's just intuitively. Let's look at the book. Let's see. Maybe that's like the meaning for the card when it's reversed. Because there's the reverse meanings of this card too. Alright, number 18. Ah, damn, I was right. It's like, oh my god, this is crazy. These cards are so interesting, and they really do resonate with the readings that I've been doing. Like, damn, like every one that I've done, it's like every fairy message I pulled always seems to correlate. It's interesting. So, the Lady of the Harvest: completion, grief, lost, harvest, and release. Fitting with the frog, talking about release, you guys. Okay. So, after we've experienced the nurturing and fulfillment of the bright mother, the Lady of Harvest, also known as the Old Woman or Crone, helps us to let go of what's finished and liberate ourselves to move on to the next phase of our activities and relationships. As in the natural world, the old becomes compost for the new growth in our lives. The Lady helps us adapt and change and release. Often we associate the Lady of Harvest with loss, regret, grief, and often we are right to do so. The basic phases of grief are shock, denial, anger, guilt, emotional storm, acceptance, regaining of perspective, the beginning of healing, and the deepening of our capacity for love. The Lady of Harvest understands grief and is patient and kind as we go through some of the most painful process of letting go. We may also need to be patient and kind with ourselves. We should note here that the grieving process is the same for little losses and large ones. Only the time scale and the intensity of the emotions vary, but they vary enormously. We may go through all the grieving stages of a small loss in a few minutes, while it may take years for greater loss. On the other side of this letting go business, there are many things that make us lighter and happier when we release them. Old traumas, tasks, or stages in our lives that we're glad to have finished, unhappy relationships, or feelings that caused us pain and inhibit our growth. Sometimes we simply, comfortably finish one aspect of our lives and move on to the next, happily anticipated one. Some release are cause for celebration, and the old woman joyfully celebrates with us. In this card, we see both the patience, acceptance of loss, and the joyful celebration of liberation. When we liberate something in ourselves or in the world, we grow to be more like the Lady of Harvest, developing her capacities within us. It is time to accept change, to move on to the next phase. Power and strength in the present and future coming of releasing the past. This is a time of liberation, and we might as well cooperate with it. It will happen, whether we want it to or not. Release and liberation may be painful or joyful, depending on the circumstance. Cry if you need to, be joyful that is appropriate, but in either case, trust the process, acknowledge what you feel, and prepare to move on. When this is reversed, when we block the liberating energy of the Lady, we may refuse to accept a loss or cling to outgrown pains, traumas, or limiting ideas. We may deny reality. Shock and denial are the first stage of grief, but we need to move on past that to eventually gain a healthy balance in the present. If we stay in denial, the grief cannot heal. Denial can be the denial of reality or the denial of our feelings. Either one prevents us from moving on to healing. The universe moves on. We have no choice really but to move on with it. Twisted, the energy of release can move in various directions. One possibility can be the letting go program, an automatic process like a computer program, where we compulsively push away things we actually want and need. Another twist on this is to turn away from the things in our lives that give us satisfaction, fulfillment, or joy because we cannot have one thing we want. So it seems reasonable to have nothing at all. This kind of sulking can easily be carried to an extreme. This destructive mode of release can be summarized by the bumper sticker of saying, if you love something, let it go. If it doesn't come back, hunt it down and kill it. This is the, if I can't have it, no one will attitude. From the outside, such attitudes seem obviously stupid and selfish, but to someone caught in one of those less rational stages of the grieving process, they may seem the only solution, a solution that is not solution to anything at all. Wow. Whew. So, pretty intense. You guys, I knew I was kind of picking up on a little bit of heavy energy. And so that kind of, now that card came out, it kind of does give a little bit now that that card came out, it kind of does give insight to these cards that came out, kind of to summarize or like give you an idea of where to go. It's like there could be the energy, like, you know, if you guys, okay, fuck it, I'm just gonna move forward, but it's like you're moving forward in possibly an unhealthy way for some. Yeah. So that might be for someone out there. Now, let's wrap this up with a Tikashi message for Virgo, Sun, Rising, Venus for the week ahead. You guys, I'm sending my love. You guys, it's gonna be okay. I know you probably don't want to hear that, but sometimes these kind of things happen to direct us towards something much better for us. Oops. And we have a card falling out, creativity. All right, let's get one more for Virgo, Sun, Rising, Venus for this weekly reading. Oops. Any Tikashi messages for Virgo, Sun, Rising, Venus for this weekly reading? Thank you. Okay, creativity and honesty. Creativity. You are the creator of your universe. You can create, manifest anything. Do not limit what you can think you do. You can do anything. Without judgments, you can lovingly acknowledge what you create, which will open the flow for greater creations. Be open to new ideas, let your artistic expression flow, and allow your inspiration to guide you to new heights. And honesty. Be honest with yourself. Be kind in your thoughts. What could you try to hide? There are no secrets with the universe. Tell the whole story. Don't hold back. Allow yourself to be more open and honest, and the world is open and honest with you. Great pearls of wisdom and jewels of delight flow into an honest heart. Let it be yours. Okay, Virgo. So that is what I got for you guys for this weekly reading. If you guys found this helpful or insightful, please let me know in the comments below, as well as leave a like, subscribe. If you guys are interested, you can check me out over on Instagram at Jadestone Tarot. If you want, you can turn on the notification bell so you guys are notified for the future when I upload. And with that being said, I'm going to let you guys go. Sending you guys my love, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Take care.